Hey, welcome back to Ken's Cardboard. I hope you're having a great day. Doing a little video out here on my front porch in my seats I got here from Coors Field. Picked them up at a garage sale one year that Coors Field has, or the Rockies have. I don't know if they still do it or not, but before the pandemic they used to have garage sales kind of down in the bowels of Coors Field. You can find all kinds of things that they would just sell off, things from the stadium and whatnot. And when they did they built the party deck up in right field, they took out a bunch of seats, and I got this pair here. I think I paid like I think $200 or something like that, but still have them here on my porch. I'm doing a video here today for my buddy Nate over at Tops 85401, and he wants to know my history on the YouTube and why, how it's changed my collecting. I first got on to YouTube, I don't know, beginning of 2019, so it's been about 6 years here. I first saw some channels, I think the Jabs family, and I started watching videos from other channels, including Nate, Tops 85401. I saw your channel and saw some amazing cards, especially from the 90s of Barry Bonds. I stopped collecting cards in the early 90s. I went to college, got back into it in late 99, like around 99, when there's a website called eBay. I found out that they sold cards in there, and that's when I started my eBay account and started buying some football cards at that time. And that was because I was a Broncos fan living here in Colorado, and I started buying some Broncos cards at that time. But anyways, going back to why I'm on YouTube, today I cleaned up a little bit, shaved, do this video. I think the main reason is just for the community, and I've heard some people talk about how they didn't fit into the community. I think there's plenty of channels where you can fit in. Some people collect vintage, some collect modern, some do breaks, and I didn't fit in everywhere. I used to watch some breaking channels, and I didn't fit in on some of those channels, and I got a lot of subscribers that way, and on those breaks. But that's not really what meant a lot to me. What meant a lot to me is people who I connected with in the community, collecting similar ways. At the time when I first started, I had just got into graded cards. I didn't know what graded cards were until I got onto YouTube. And so I started looking at that type of collection, and I didn't collect vintage at the time in 2019 either. So I decided to start looking into vintage cards. I had a little bit of a hockey collection from the Avalanche that I collected, but I didn't know anything about vintage hockey, so I saw some channels with that, started collecting vintage hockey cards. Then being part of the community and connecting and talking to people's channels, I went to the National. I've been to the National 3 times now and had a great time each time connecting with fans, friends, and there. I've been to other places around the country when I'm traveling for work or vacation, and I've met several different people through that way. So it's just a great way to connect with people, and that's the reason why I stay on there, and it's changed my collecting habits a lot. So I'm more focused on just things that brought me joy when I was a kid and things that I celebrate now. But there's a lot of cards that I learned about watching YouTube, and it's just more fun to share that collection with anybody else. I didn't know anybody who collected cards before I got on YouTube, and now I have hundreds of friends that I talk to regularly in chat groups or text messages or calling on the phone or meeting in person. So that's why I do it. I'm going to share some cards here that I picked up recently, and let's turn around the camera and check them out. All right, we're back down in my basement to show cards because it's way better setup than trying to show cards out from my front porch. But picked up a few cards here. A Charlie Blackmon card, a Mike Schmidt card, or as Adam would say, Chuck Norris. Disguised as Mike Schmidt, and then got some Bo Jackson as well. Let's show off the Bo Jackson first. I picked up this set here. It's from the this is a 1988 set, even though it says 1984 Star Company. This was printed in 1988. This is the Bo Jackson set. There's 12 cards in here. Some of these cards, you know, if you get them graded in a 10, or can be worth a fair amount of money. So we got number 1 here, the Kansas City Bomber. Then we got the minor league stats card when he played for the Memphis Chicks. And there you go, see an 86. And then I believe this is from the same photo shoot as this 87 Topps here. You can see the fence in the background. Here's a 87 season. The back. There's another card from Memphis Chicks. More minor league love. High school info. David M. Did you ever go see the Memphis Chicks play? You live in Tennessee. Here we got the Pro Info 1. Let's see what's on the back of this one. As you know, Bo Jackson was a football and baseball, so you'll see some cards coming up here shortly. Pro Info 2. The backs just have some narratives. I'm not going to read all of these, but baseball, football. There's another set of these that are he's in. Shows him in some football cards. Personal data. Born in Bessemer, Alabama, 1962. And then the future. Interesting thing about this set here, I was looking when I got them in the package, they're not cut all perfectly the same. As you can see here, a couple of cards are like a little bit wider. You can see there. So I don't know why, but it didn't do a good job of cutting. So anyways, hopefully I don't really plan to get them graded, so it doesn't really matter. So there's some Bo Jackson pickup that I have. Last year my buddy Saul got me this short print card here, which is the Golden Mirror card. Chuck Nasty. I don't know what the print run on these, but not a lot. Cards tend to go for a lot for some players. I don't know how much you paid for this, but it wasn't my favorite image of him, but still, I appreciate Saul you sending that to me. That's pretty cool. Throw that back here. This was the base image from 2024, and then that was the short print. So there's the base image, and this is the true photo, I guess. I don't know what they call it, which variation. This is a variation as well of the card. It doesn't have all the borders on it from 2024. And then here's a picture of this year's base card. And I think in one of my previous videos I was looking for the short print of this one here. I like this. You can actually see the dirt kicking up from running around third here. And then you got the Coors Field scoreboard in the background. And then I picked up, here's the short print of Charlie's last game, Coors Field. I was at that game on Saturday, so I got to see his last at bat, and he got a hit, and then they took him. Bud Black took him out of the game. So, and this is also the Golden Mirror. I'm looking for the Golden Mirror one of Bo Bichette, but it's very pricey. And the last card I picked up here is, well, it's akin to this here 1980 Topps Mike Schmidt. So when I got this card out of PAX, I was like really pumped, because at this time I was a Phillies fan because Pete Rose played for the Philadelphia Phillies at the time, and I also became a Mike Schmidt fan of that team as well. So, and I also played third base, like third baseman. So Mike Schmidt became a fan favorite of mine, or as Adam talks Adam Vintage Sanctuary, said Chuck Norris. So that's the 1980 version, but in 2003, Topps came out with a product called Topps All-Time Fan Favorites, and it was kind of a reprint of the archives from 2002, but there's some different photos in there. So here is one of the cards that was in that, and they had a base card, and then this is a refractor card, and I think there were some autographs too. I'm not sure which ones on the checklist were autographed or if all of them were or not, but these cards are numbered out of 299. You can see down there at the bottom, and you can also see on the back, these are, you got the full career stats of Mike Schmidt, which is really cool, from 1972 to 1989. 548 home runs, 408 doubles, first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. So there you go. I kind of like the chromium with the little stippling in the background. Both great cards. Had to pick that one up for the collection. This little figurine I got back from the card shop was here in Arvada, Colorado, and I bought a bunch of stuff from the guy, and I was looking at this and picked it up. He goes, "Yeah, you can have it." And then I tried to go back to his card store probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months later, and the card store was gone. I think he sold all his inventory to somebody. He had a ton of vintage cards. Nothing was graded, and I think someone just bought them out and probably made a killing off of it. So, and of course we got Chuck Nasty blowing a bubble back there from my buddy Scott, Reindeer Studios. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend, and your upcoming week is a fabulous. Peace.